Hello everyone, my name is Cameron. Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into the review, I just really quick want to specify why this review has taken so long to be put up. For the last week, I have basically been completely sick to my stomach. That included me going to work while completely sick to my stomach. I didn't puke a whole lot, thank God, but I was still in a lot of pain and really couldn't record because I couldn't really go away from my couch for too long because I felt sick to my stomach so bad that I was constantly going to the bathroom to make sure I was okay, and if I felt like I had to puke or something else, I was trying to get to my bathroom as quick as I could without having to run up and downstairs and stuff like that. But now I'm feeling a hell of a lot better, so I'm finally ready to do this review. And for anyone who might be wondering why we don't do the AEW pay-per-views, it's not because we don't enjoy AEW. We enjoy AEW a lot. We watch it every single week. The reason we don't do the AEW pay-per-views is because we personally don't feel like spending $40 for the pay-per-views. It's not that we don't think the pay-per-views are going to deliver. It's just that we don't really have the desire to constantly spend $40 when we have a cheaper option to watch pay-per-views every single week or every single month. Now, if they do decide to make a service, or if there's a pay-per-view that does catch me and Jesse's eye, we have decided that we will probably end up buying it, doing predictions, and doing a review for it. But for the most part, we have no plans to constantly do AEW pay-per-views on the channel. I haven't decided anything with them yet, just because mostly it's one of those situations of wanting to make sure we want to watch the pay-per-view before we buy it. And so far, none of the pay-per-views have really caught our eye to the point where it's like, oh, hey, let's go watch that. On top of that, they're doing longer shows, which is like, what's the point of, like, why are you guys doing the longer shows now? I don't understand that, but yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. All right, so starting with the first match of the night, we had the women's tag team match with the Riot Squad versus the Iconics. Prediction was the Riot Squad for both. The Riot Squad were wearing matching attires. Billie Kay whipped Riot into Liv's knee after a reversal. Riot ducked under Royce and ran into Shades of Kay. Liv kicked Kay away before Royce hit her down. Kay says Riot did it. Liv had some conflicting emotions as Billie told her to just go. Morgan tagged in, took the Iconics down. The Iconics took control over Ruby. Deja Vu by the Iconics, but Liv broke it up. She drags Ruby to the corner and tags in. Liv avoids Deja Vu and hits Oblivion on Peyton Royce. Double knees and the Riot kick. Riot Squad win 10 out of 10, 1-0 on predictions for both. Besides a small hiccup by Liv off of a springboard move, the match was really good. It had a great end result with the Riot Squad shutting up the Iconics for the time being. That being said, last week on Monday Night Raw, there was a rematch between them, with the winner going on to face the Women's Tag Team Champions at a later date. That the Riot Squad ended up winning that match, and the losers, the Iconics, having to disband as a tag team. Now, I knew there was a rumor for a long time that Peyton was going to be a singles competitor, that they were going to break them up and branch her off to a singles career. The question I have is, why couldn't she just fucking do that with them still as a tag team and have Billie in her corner as a manager instead of her tag partner for a bit? Like, there's no need to break up tag teams just to have them go on singles careers. You've never needed to do that. You've never had any reason. You had women's tag teams doing singles runs years and years and years ago when there wasn't even a women's tag team division. So why can't you do it now with a women's tag team, one of them going off on a singles career? They also had a match this past Monday that Peyton Royce won, where they ended up hugging in the middle of the ring. Kind of obviously still friends, obviously, and still very sad. I think neither of them really wanted to break up as a tag team. They're a great tag team. I've had a love-hate relationship with the Iconics, but I think they deserve to stay a tag team because they are one of the best and one of the only actual women's tag teams that have been here the whole time. The Riot Squad broke up for a bit. Bailey and Sasha, meh. So I don't know. I feel like they should have kept the Iconics together and not put the stipulation of the loser has to break up. They also had a thing on Raw Underground where Peyton pretty much shoved Billie Kay into Jessamine Duke. So it was just, yeah. Match number 2, United States Championship match. We have Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley. Prediction was Lashley for both. Crews being very athletic. Moonsault off the apron takes Lashley down. MVP and Benjamin get in his way. Lashley tries to run through and get him, but goes back in the ring. Crews slammed on the top rope and drops outside. Lashley still in control over Crews. Crews avoids a stalling suplex. Dominator hit on Crews with a cocky fucking pin. Crews kicks out. Crews going wild on Lashley in the corner. Splash. Tries for the toss powerbomb. It gets reversed, hits a spinebuster on Lashley, standing moonsault for a 2 count, full Nelson in after a reversal, Cruz reverses it, German suplexes to Lashley, frog splash to Lashley for a 2 count, Lashley hits a huge slam to Cruz, full Nelson's in, Cruz taps, 10 out of 10, 2-0 on predictions. I thought it was a very good way for it to go. Cruz losing it in a big way to Lashley. It wasn't like a random loss to MVP. It was an actual big loss to a guy who really needs a championship right now. Cruz attacked Lashley post-match, says he's getting the title back. Paul Heyman talks with Kayla Braxton backstage for a bit, pretty much just tells her to fuck off, and that Charlie Cruz shows better. That was the gist of what he said. I don't really need to go into the details because the gist of what he said is fuck off, Charlie Cruz shows better. Let's talk a little bit more about the Cruz-Lashley Hurt Business situation. I can't remember exactly what happened last week on Raw because, honestly, it was a week ago and I'm a little bit fucking hazy on the details. But this past Monday night, Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, and Apollo Crews had a 3-on-3 or a 6-man tag team match against the Hurt Business that eventually led to Cedric Alexander attacking Ricochet, attacking Apollo Crews, and joining the Hurt Business. I believe there's an 8-man tag match later in the night, but I haven't gotten to that far in Raw yet, this week. But to see Cedric Alexander turn heel, I think it's very needed. I also think Apollo really needs to be a heel, but meh. I don't know. Apollo's a face is just kind of bland. I do like the fact that Cedric turned, though. That was very good in my opinion. Good job. We also have a Raw Underground match coming up between Aleister Black and Kevin Owens after a couple weeks ago when Aleister hit the Black Mass to Kevin Owens. Match number 3, we have a men's singles match. Big E versus Sheamus. Prediction, Big E for both. Lots of power moves, and Sheamus tries to keep the pace slow. Big E gets sent outside by Sheamus, trips him up on the apron. Sheamus attacks the left leg of Big E, trying to set up for the cloverleaf. Sheamus still focused on the leg. E starts kicking him in the back. Irish curse to Big E, getting a 2 count. Bit of jaw pin. Boots to the face to get out of a half crab. Sheamus caught into a couple of overhead belly to bellies. Sheamus headbutts him as he goes for a 3rd. Uranagi to Sheamus for a 2. Sheamus launches over the top rope with a shoulder tackle. Over the top rope? Yeah. Belly to belly to Sheamus. Alabama slam to E for a 2 count. Spear off the apron to Sheamus. Takes control over. Big ending reverse. Heel hook locked in. Big knee to Big E for a 2 count. Bro kick reversed into a powerbomb. Big ending. Big E wins. 10 out of 10. 3-0 predictions for both Jesse and myself. The singles run is really starting to make me like Big E a lot more. For the New Day, I've always kind of been more of a Kofi and Xavier Woods guy. Kofi because I grew up watching Kofi. I've watched Kofi for the last 10 plus years. I love Kofi Kingston. He's fantastic. Woods because 1 of his YouTube channel and 2 because he's just got more character. He's got a lot of character to him, which I've always loved. Big E was just kind of there for me. But now seeing the singles run, I'm really starting to like Big E. And I'm very happy to say that. Backstage with Matt Riddle and a tweet by Corbin saying he'll prove Riddle as a failure in a WWE ring since Riddle has already proven he's a failure at home. Riddle gets really pissed and just walks off. Doesn't say anything, just walks off. If you don't know what that's about, it's about some of the speaking out movements because of Riddle's affair from many years ago, I think. So yeah, Riddle obviously very pissed off that his home life has been brought into this. Backstage bullshit with Nia and Shayna. It's not that important. Match number 4, men's singles match with Matt Riddle versus King Baron Corbin. Prediction, Riddle for both. Corbin attacks before the match starts, takes control quick, throws Riddle outside. Back in the ring, Corbin still in control. Riddle gets a sleeper hold in a few times, elbows to the neck. Corbin slings Riddle off of his back. Corbin choking Riddle on the top rope, or on the rope with his leg. Corbin still in control with a sidewalk slam and a 2 count. Kicks to the chest by Riddle as Corbin gets cocky. Corbin taunts with the failure at home shit. Half crabs avoided. Big kick to the head sends Corbin outside as he tries for that sliding clothesline thing. Riddle heads outside, slammed in the apron by Corbin, hits him with another kick. Forearms in the corner, Broton, penalty kick, 2 count. Corbin in a lot of pain after a well-placed kick in the side. Deep 6 by Corbin for a 2 count. Triangle in on Corbin. Kick to avoid a powerbomb by Corbin. Not Corgan. Not Billy Corgan. Bro to sleep. Floating Bro. Riddle wins 12 out of 10, 4-0 on predictions. Great match. Corbin is honestly a great talent, and to have him lose to Riddle does so much to help Riddle on the main roster, and I can't wait to see where the feud is going next after this. I thought it was really good. For a lot of the shit that Corbin actually gets, he is really good in the ring. He is one of the best heels in the business right now. I actually am a huge fan of Baron Corbin, even though I can't stand his King Corbin gimmick. I absolutely despise it. I want him to go back to being just Baron Corbin. But I do, in fact, really think he's great in the ring, and yeah, I've come a long way with Baron Corbin. I fucking hated him when I first started watching him. Fucking despised him. But seeing him now, he's come a long way. Corbin attacks Riddle as he's being interviewed backstage, and there's one of the only problems I really have with him. He's a sore loser. Like, dude, take your loss and move on. Obviously, he wouldn't, because last week on SmackDown, there was a fatal four-way match set up for the number one contendership to the Universal Championship between Big E, Sheamus, Riddle, and Corbin. Big E got attacked by Sheamus before the match, being sidelined out of the match, being replaced later by Jey Uso, and I'll get to why in a little bit. The match was eventually won by Jey Uso, by the way. Match number 5, Women's Tag Team Championship match, Sasha and Bayley versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Prediction was Nia and Shayna for both. Baszler immediately tags in, starting against Banks. Baszler's in control over Sasha. Bayley tags in. Banks and Bayley double teaming Shayna after Nia is taken down, favoring her knee. Nia throws Bayley into the barricade, taking it to Sasha, swinging her into the barricade over and over and over and over and over again. Nia is tagged in, takes down Bayley. Sasha takes out the knee as Baszler inadvertently distracts the ref. Bayley is in control over Nia. Nia tries to get back up, but Bayley clings to her leg. Shayna's tagged in, Baszler and Jax actually working together, surprisingly, taking down Bayley and Sasha. Sasha shifts her weight and slams Nia down face first. Bayley heads up top, elbow drop, frog splash, Bayley to belly, to Baszler, but Nia kicks out. Baszler's in, Sasha and Bayley take down Jax. Kirifuda in on Bayley, drops Banks, gets her in a leg lock. Kirifuda in on Bayley with a Muda lock on Banks. Baszler uses Banks' arm on Bayley, holding her down. Bayley taps out, 12 out of 10, 5-0 on predictions. And wow, what a fucking ending to that match. It was definitely a lot crazier of a finish than I expected. Baszler did a lot of the work, which made me happy because I'm a huge fan of Shayna Baszler. And honestly, I can't wait to see more of this and see them potentially drop the belts to the Riot Squad, I hope. Let's quickly talk about the women's tag team division scene. On Monday Night Raw last week, Sasha was like, I wasn't the one who tapped out. She's like, I didn't tap. I'm like, oh, it's getting fucking crazy in here. And then, this past Friday night on SmackDown, they had a rematch for the Women's Tag Team Championships that Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler ended up pinning Sasha at the same... Nia ended up pinning Sasha and Bayley at the same time. Sasha was the legal person, meaning that both Sasha and Bayley cost them the titles. And then, post-match, Bayley did it. She finally fucking did it. Bayley attacked Sasha Banks, presumably turning Sasha face. I guess we'll see in the next coming weeks. Setting up for their most likely to happen probably before Survivor Series Women's Championship match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I cannot wait, if I'm being honest. I would love it if they drag this out, because Sasha, she tagged Sasha's leg like crazy, like to the point where it looked like Sasha had to be carted off. Like Sasha looked bad. So I'm wondering if they're setting it up for Sasha to be gone for a bit, win the Women's Royal Rumble, which I don't really want to happen, but it's probably it's where I think this is going. Is Sasha's gonna win the Women's Rumble? She's gonna be gone for a couple months. She's gonna win the Women's Rumble, and then she's gonna face Bayley at Mania, which I think would be the best possible setup for this. I think Sasha and Bayley at Mania, Iron Woman. Give me a 60-minute Iron Woman match between Sasha and Bayley at Mania, and I'll be fucking happy as a clam. I swear to God, it would make me lose my shit. I would love it if that was the SmackDown Women's Championship match at Mania this next coming year. Sasha, Bayley, 60-minute Iron Woman match. You have my approval for that, WWE. It'd be great, but I don't know if that's where they're going with it. Obviously, we'll see what happens with Sasha on SmackDown this coming Friday. There was a injury update on both Sasha and Big E that WWE posted late Friday night after SmackDown went off the air, so I'm wondering if anything was said there on how long they're going to be out, but who knows. Match number 6, men's singles match with Keith Lee versus Randall Keith Orton. Prediction was Lee for both. Lee's in control, making Orton rethink his game plan. Loud as fuck chops as Orton tells Lee he demands his respect. Grizzly Magnum to Orton. Lee slammed on the announce table. Orton slows down the match. Orton's launched out of the ring. Orton slammed on the table. Draping DDT hit. RKO avoided. Spirit bomb to Orton. Keith Lee wins 12 out of 10. 6-0 on predictions. Great match. Amazing things are coming for Lee to start his main roster with his second match on pay-per-view. Beating Orton, I sense big things in his future. Big things. I'm very happy with this. I love Keith Lee. He's fantastic. I loved his run in NXT as the North American champion. I loved his small run as the NXT champion. And I can't wait for more of this. There was also some triple threats last week on Raw to determine the number one contender for the WWE Championship for Clash of Champions Gold Rush, I believe is what the pay-per-view is called. Lee faced Orton, which Orton... Wait, was it Lee versus Orton? No. Orton faced Kevin Owens and won. Keith Lee faced somebody. Fuck did Keith Lee face again? Dolph Ziggler, I think. Keith Lee faced Dolph Ziggler and won. And we'll get to the next match in a little bit. Orton eventually ended up winning that match. Drew came back this week and attacked him a bit. Drew is still out with a fractured jaw, so I'm sure he'll be fine before Clash Champions. Obviously, they're setting up for that, but yeah, Orton's going to be facing Drew McIntyre at Clash Champions. Match number 7, men's tag team match, Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. Prediction was the Mysterios for both. Heyman saying Reigns is here, will be in the triple threat, and will leave as champion. Good. They removed the dumb hood on Dominic's attire. Good job, because that hood looked fucking stupid. Dominic going after Rollins quick as they make them think Rey is going to start the match. Dominic showing up Rollins with some very explosive offense. Rey keeping control over Murphy. Rey yells at Seth to get his punk ass in here. Rey thrown under the bottom rope onto Murphy's knees. Rey takes down Murphy and Rollins after a bit too much taunting. Dominic is in but gets caught. Falcon Arrow for a 2 count. Murphy tries to slam Dominic into the barricade, but Dominic reverses it, then slamming Rollins into it. Rey in control, taking it to Rollins. Moonsault for a 2 count. 619 avoided by Rollins. Dominic takes down Murphy with a DDT. Sling bladed Dominic. Seated senton. Backbreaker to Rey. Mysterio takes out Murphy to keep Dominic safe. Rey taken out in midair by Rollins. Curb stomp is avoided. Rollins slams him down as he reverses the Rana. Dom breaks up the pin. Gets taken out by Rollins and Murphy. Rey slammed into the barricade. Mysterio reverses, making Murphy kick Rollins. Mysterio sets it up. Dom slides Rey out into a sunset flip powerbomb on Rollins. 619 to Murphy. Frog splash. Mysterio's win. 20 out of 10. 70 on predictions. And for once, either myself or Jesse could win a pay-per-view. Either one of us will be 7-1. Or we'll both be 7-1 at the end of this match, the next match. That match was great. Dominic looked amazing. Rey looked great. Rollins walked away without Murphy. He was really pissed. The split, seems like the split's coming a lot sooner rather than later. Last week on Raw, Seth was set to face Rey Mysterio, but Rey tore his tricep in that match. So instead, he faced Dominic, with the winner going on to said triple threat that Randy Orton ended up winning. Rollins ended up winning that. He kicked Murphy away, said get the fuck out of my ring, slapped him a few times. Murphy then got attacked by Dominic. Dominic eventually lost after 2 curb stomp, I think he took a curb stomp, got pinned, and then Rollins hit another curb stomp after, with Rey Mysterio and his family watching on. Dominic then faced Murphy this week. I think he beat him, if I remember correctly. Unless the match hasn't happened. I can't remember, but it seems like Murphy's already been kicked out of Rollins' thing. No, I don't think the match has happened yet. They have a street fight on Raw from Monday. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know who won it. But it seems like Murphy's already, because they're saying the former disciple of Seth Rollins. I'm like, huh? Like, he didn't kick him out officially last week. He just kind of got pissed at him. Murphy blamed the Mysterios for it, and I'm excited for Rollins versus Murphy. I really am. I hope to God Murphy wins that feud, because Seth can take that loss, and Seth's apparently getting set to leave so he can go be with Becky, because I think it's getting, when was it, May? Money in the Bank was in May, wasn't it? Give me a sec, guys. I think Money in the Bank was in May. I believe Money in the Bank was in May. So, June, July, August, September. So, she's about 4-ish months along, I would say. Let's see. So, August, July, June, May. Yeah, May. Money in the Bank was in May. So, she's about 4 or so months along, I would say. Meaning there's about 5 months left to go. So, they're probably going to set up, well, let's see. September, October, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So about February. He'll probably be out until about February, I'm assuming. I don't know if they're going to have it set for Clash of Champions or TLC or Survivor Series or when they're going to try to set it up for. But they're setting up, it looks like, for Rollins versus Murphy very, very soon to write Rollins out for at least the next couple of months, up to probably about 5 or 6 maybe, so he can go be with Becky while she's pregnant and I'm assuming while she gives birth to their child. Also, again, congrats to Seth and Becky. Match number 8, no holds barred Universal Championship triple threat match. The Fiend versus Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. I predicted The Fiend because I went with my heart. Jesse predicted Roman Reigns because he went with his head. The Fiend's entrance is awesome, as usual. No changes there. Braun attacks The Fiend before the match begins. Bell rings without Roman. Interesting. I should also point out that The Fiend does not have his custom championship, so not a really good sign. Sister Abigail to Strowman. The match is already chaotic and still no Roman. Fiend follows Strowman out, attacking out there. Uranagi to Strowman through the announce table. Still no Roman, but Alexa's watching backstage and playing with her pigtails. Fiend grabs out his big boy mallet, drags it towards Braun. Braun whips an office chair at him. I would not be able... You could not pay me enough money to get that spot, to take that spot. I'm not getting an office chair whipped at me. Nope. Not a fucking chance. Still no Reigns. Fiend slammed onto the stairs. Braun grabs him out, but Fiend avoids it by attacking Braun. Slams him into the barricade. Fiend attacks him with the mallet. Conflicted screams. Still no Reigns. Fiend doesn't have his custom championship, which I already said earlier. Next snap to Strowman. Fiend grabs the stairs, hits him with the stairs. Alexa's still watching on. Fiend dragging Strowman up the ramp to the stage. Another next snap. Fiend thrown into the screen as Strowman counters. Both men down. Still no Reigns. Sister Abigail's reverse. Strowman tackles him off the stage through a table, landing on him. Braun brings the Fiend to the ring. Strowman heads up top. The Fiend heads up, sets up for a superplex. Ring breaks after the superplex is hit. Both men are down. Ref is dead. Doo-doo. 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 Roman finally comes out. Fuck you, WWE. Comes out with Heyman and a chair. He signs the contract. Fucking finally. WWE wonders why his return didn't boost the ratings. Because of shit like this. Slides into the ring, calls the new ref down. Fiend kicks out, tries again. Another kick out, tries on Strowman, kicks out. Grabs a chair he threw down for some fucking reason. Attacks Strowman with it, covers for a 2 count. Mandible claw to Reigns. Low blow takes down the Fiend. Roman's new teeth. No. Braun up, spear, covers. Reigns wins, 1.5 out of 10. 7-1 for me, 8-0 for Jesse. Look, the Fiend made it through the Rollins and Goldberg bullshit, but this? No. The Fiend's fucked at this point. There's nothing you can say that's going to fix the Fiend. Stop putting the fucking title on him just for this stupid shit to happen. He literally didn't do shit. Was there for like 3 fucking minutes. Picked the bones of Braun and Bray. They should have just had Braun retained at SummerSlam if this dumb shit was what they had planned. Like, I'm already not happy with Roman being champion, and he's been champion for like not even 2 weeks yet. Dumb decision by WWE. And it literally was a pointless main event. That main event didn't need to happen. The whole pay-per-view gets a 3 out of 5. Every match was great, and the main event was good until that ending. I would have rather seen Roman there the whole time, regardless if this is because he's scared of getting Rona or whatever. He should have been there the whole fucking time. He could have just done nothing. He could have played the long game the whole time, just walked around the ring, waiting for them to fucking kill each other. But no. He fucking comes in last minute and signs the contract, which already breaks the WWE rule. If the contract could be signed at any point before, or even during the match happening, why the fuck does everyone sign the contract weeks in advance? Why not just wait and have your opponent be scared shitless? Oh wait, I know, because that's not how fucking contracts work. Why the fuck they had that set up as the plan for Roman to come out, sign the contract, and then rush down and, I'm going to kick their asses. I get it's heel heat, but that's some really cheap heel heat. That is not even good heel heat. That's cheap heel heat right there. I don't like it. Fuck that ending. On SmackDown, we had Roman. Basically, what happened is after Big E got injured, Paul Heyman basically got set up so Jey Uso could be in the match. I'm very excited to see Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns, honestly. I know Jay's not going to win. I would love it if Jey actually ended up fucking winning, because, my God, that would be insane. But I'm excited for it. It's going to be cool. I hope it's not a finger poke of doom. If it's a finger poke of doom, that's going to suck. But if it means that the Usos are going to end up aligning with Roman in a heel stable, I'm going to be down for that. I like Roman, don't get me wrong, but this was stupid by WWE. It was stupid planning. Bray said he lost what's his. He wants his favorite toy back. Said he's going to have a new guest on Firefly Funhouse this week, so that's kind of exciting. It's probably going to be Alexa's sister Abigail, or it's going to be Nikki Cross randomly. I don't know. I'm very excited. There was also a teaser for some new star coming back, and a lot of people are saying it's Eva Marie. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see as it goes on. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Payback review. I know it's a little bit late, and I'm sorry again. Hopefully, Clash Champions review will be out the day after the pay-per-view. I will see you all in the next video. Stay golden. Peace.